So, we're going to talk about milk and honey and salt. I'm not waiting for anybody again. I'm just going to get right into this because this is a major enigma, major complex of how life is, what death is, and people's perception of milk, honey, salt, and the need for light. What is the sun? What is the earth? What is the realms beneath our feet? What are the angels or the angles? What are the cubes? So here goes. If you were to take a bowl and inside of it put water, distilled water, and then you would take another one and you put milk in it, another one you put honey water in it, another one put fruit juice in it, another one put salt water in, and another one put we could come up with any number of mixtures, but I guarantee with 100% certainty that the salt water will be the last thing that anyone drinks. An animal will not drink the salt water. It will drink the milk. It will drink the distilled water. It will drink the honey water. It will drink the fruit juice even before it will drink salt water. If I offered you the same right in front of you, if you are dying of thirst, think of this, dying of thirst. Are you thirsty for salt? No, salt water would be your worst enemy. Salt water, salt is death. Death is of the earth, the physical body that's made of these. You are the salts of the earth, because the earth is dead. It's the dead world. In the land of milk and honey are both sweet. They're nectars. Then we could play this in a lot of different ways. In what the bees are, what the honey is, what the milk is in the cows. We could talk about the salt. But we always have to come back to the comprehension of what the structure of the body is, what the elements are, and what the highest form is. Now let me try this without going on a tangent here. The sun creates light, which then imbues its information into water to give you memory. Memory meaning water and light. So it gives you your being, your body. If you take water and you let light into it, it ionizes an element. Now, people confuse elements with minerals with salts. And it can be very confusing because there are salts that are living and there are salts that are dead. So we're using non-properly identifying ways of articulating properly what it is that people are consuming and what people are made of. And I have made so many videos on the connection between the moon, salt, Saturn, time, the body, the earth, and how it all functions. But the nectar of life, what we wake up for, when you wake up in the morning, when you wake up and you go, there's something I desire right now, it will never, 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 never be salt. I guarantee it. Try it out for yourself. Lay out in front of you some salt water and some milk and some honey and some fruit juice. Wake up in the morning after having a long night, do it, and then see which one you desire. You will never desire salt because salt is death. Why is it that the sun itself is not salt? What is the sun? The sun is light. Salt is cubed light. It turns it into a six-sided pyramid. So you take a pyramid which is Well, let's not go with the pyramid route right now. Let's just, it boxes up information into a time. Now, this is not me saying salt is evil. It's not me saying that the moon is bad. It's not me saying that the earth is bad. But to be what the sun is, the sun isn't salt. Water isn't salt. They happen to provide a substrate for salt to be a conduit for electrical arcs to happen. The planets, when you say planets, we're talking about stars. Stars being moving electrons of information. They are salts. The sun is not salt. The planets are salt. That's why everyone, when we get into the work of, say, we have the 12 astrological signs, and the 9 of them that are in our body from when we are in the womb. This is the name is just escaping me right now, but anybody else can put it in here. You know what it is. His name is it's just right there on the tip of my brain. Anyways, the Schussler's cell salts, the cell salts. Let me George Carey, yes, George Carey, bamboo. Thank you. What happens is when they burn the body, when you die, there's 12 salts there. Because it's dead. The salts are what happens after the alchemical process. That is what the body is made of. It's the end of the process that becomes salt, which goes back into the earth. Do you know alchemy comes from sugar? You create alcohol, which is alchemy, through using sugar to create spirits. The spirits are created through sugar, not through salts. The salt is what's got rid of. We get rid of the salts. We take the salts and we put it to the side. We get rid of the salt because the salts are dead. They're of the earth. But we keep putting them in our body for some reason. We got paid in salts. We want to go on the sea, and you're not drinking salt water from the sea, are you? These are simple concepts that, for whatever reason, people no, we got to do these things with all of these salts because we've been told so much about salts, and we believe in salts and Saturn and statism, status. Your status is your salt is your money is the moon is where you're getting your fake energy. This is the truth. You do not get energy from the moon. You get it from the sun. The sun creates your energy. The moon is a secondary system of telling you that no, we have the energy. The moon doesn't have the energy. The moon is the money. The money is a system of displaying and showing you currency in your hand on a talisman's idol. It's not the actual energy. The actual energy isn't salt. It isn't the moon, but the moon controls salt. Saturn is salt. Saturn is statism. Statism is the state of consciousness. If your state of consciousness is in a cube or incubated, it's inside of one of the cubes of the 12 Saturnian lords, which revolve around the sun, but the sun is the thing. Go out, distilled water, and sit in the sun. It's the most amazing you'll ever feel. Do you require or want salt water? No, you do not. You will not want salt water. If you've been out in the sun all day, you want distilled water. You want clean water. And you'll be very happy to drink distilled water and have the sun. Easy information. This is how animals exist. They're not out there looking for salt. They're out there actually consuming, well, of the ones that they will consume other animals, but we're not going to play that one right now. But they're looking for sugars, glucose. The glucose is what makes your body work. The glucose is what provides the sugar, which is the end of the tree. The fruit of the tree is the sugar. The sugar is the element that was created from Mother Earth, which was buried in salt, in death, which held the unit, which is the living tree. The living tree grows and creates the fruit, which is the sugar. It has nothing to do with salt. It's sugar. The sugar is the sweetness. It's the honey. Even in the hive mind of the honeybees, they're creating sugar substrates, which is, without sugar, you die. You don't know about living without salt, but I guarantee anybody that stopped eating salt, they happen to have a very much more conscious lifestyle. They're much more aware. Women have less periods. They're healthier. Their mind isn't captured by the moon or the money. They don't need the light of the moon because they realize that the light of the moon is a false light. And the sun is actually, well, we look at the earth and we ground ourselves out, we get the sunlight. And then we drink the water. What are the elements? The elements are what? Air, fire, earth, and water. There is no element of moon. Fire is the sun, earth is beneath us, air is what we breathe, and water is what's flowing through us. Where's the sun in this or where's the moon in this matrix? There's not, because it's a hybridized, overarching lie matrix that produces the salts, which are controlled by Saturn, which was a lie, and the moon, which is a lie. Saturn and the moon can actually fall out of the sky right now, and everything exists. But if the sun falls out the sky, you're done. This whole system shuts off. But everyone wants to go, here's a pound of salt. Eat a pound of salt. You'll die. You'll die if you even eat like 2 tablespoons of salt. You're poisoning yourself. But if you eat sugar, it seems like you have more energy. Weird, right? So all of this is once again to say, put these elements on the ground, take the milk, put it on the ground, take the honey water, take the fruit juice, take the distilled water, and then go take some salt water and see what animals go near that salt water. Not a damn one of them will. And you wouldn't either, especially when you wake up in the morning and you're just like, you have this thirst for life, you will not touch salt. Because we don't live in the land of salt. You live on top of the salt, which is the dead world, which should be beneath your feet. It's what you build with, not what you consume, because you are not the salt. You are the milk and the honey of the universe. And you produce milk and honey out of your pineal and pituitary glands, which is also your urine and your semen, which is also breast milk, and it has nothing to do with salt. Because people have misguided you through using words that don't actually mean what they really mean. So again, here we are in this delicious, wonderful, sugary, like grandma. What did grandma never gave you a Cuba. Here, have some salt, youngster. No, grandma always gave you the candy, which was covered in sugar. Because grandma was what? Queen bee. Because she wanted you to have the nectar or the goodness of life. Nobody ever wants salt. They want sugar. The sweet things in life. Are you a salt bearer? You carry the salt around? Have you been assaulted? You carrying the rocks? All the white, yeah, be the sugar of the earth. So there we go, guys. And I'm gonna go continue drinking the repercussions of sugar, not salt. And I'm gonna be having a joyous time, and hopefully you all do too. And as always, inspire the world. If you can't do that, at least eat well, drink well, be well, and stay curious. Yeah, I know. And Elcam, thank you again, and always good to see you. Good to see you, Electric Tau, as always. Honey is DMT, as milk is serotonin. There you go, William Caldwell. We'll get on to the DMT soon, and stay awesome. We'll talk soon. Bang bang.